Okay, so I know we had one of these not too long ago, but here we are with another from the vault for our personal account. Although this time this is a game that was played on PandaNet, that's why it's saying 17K because that's just the beginner rank in PandaNet for some reason. Anyway, this is a match that I played that honestly I just wanted to share because I thought that I did really good in this one. So we were playing black in this game. So we start with our 3-4 corners, and I was very surprised when my opponent attached for their second move. So, following what I've been taught, when someone attaches, you Hane, he pulled back, so I pulled back, and then we had this exchange here. Now, the game, OGS is saying that I should have played here, continue extending, but another thing that I've been taught, if there's an empty corner, take the empty corner. So I went for the empty corner. And then our opponent kept us from being able to cut there, which cutting was not even anything I had been thinking about. So we enclosed that corner, and they once again attach. So I Hane. He extends. I start crawling towards the side because I want to start getting some of the side territory. He follows, so I extend once, and then the 3-3 invasion. We fight the corner. I was surprised when he did the one space jump there, so I just pushed up. He blocked, and then I made a one space jump. He Hana'd there, so I Hana'd back. He extended. I closed the cutting point. I probably didn't need to. I probably could have played here, because if he cut, I would just do this. Or if he cut over here, I would just go ahead and do something like this. So, the corner was very well defended, so I didn't need to do this, but I thought I'd just play it safe, just secure that corner, make sure it's mine. And then we take an open side, because, oh, the top side, there's a lot of room there, not many stones have been played, let's start getting some territory at the top. Just trying to build a pretty wide framework to work off of, while he's been kind of making no territory whatsoever. He jumps to the center. And you know what? I love me a good Tengen, but this did not feel like a good time for Tengen. So I do the two space jump here. He attaches, so Hane. I push through. I do a knight's move. And I just cut through what could have been potential white territory. I actually misclicked here. I didn't mean to make the one space jump. So he blocks me. I descend. And it's saying he should have cut me there, but again, if he cut, it would have suggested doing this, but I would have played this move here, follow through if he tried doing that. We're in a very good position, because we've got 3 liberties here, we've got 4 liberties here, and he's got 2. So even if he did something like that, he is not getting that group there. So I'm kind of glad he didn't cut. He attaches underneath. I make the 1 point jump just because those stones were pretty surrounded by white stones. I didn't want to make too wide of a... Because if I had played here, he probably could have Hana'd up and it'd be hard to connect the stones. So I went with a safer jump. He connects under. I just decide to pull back there instead of Hana'ing. And then he turns there. So I do a Hane. He Hane's back. And then we start working this framework. I'm not sure why he played there. I guess he was hoping that I would block him here and he could try to finagle something, but I just start taking more of the side. And, I'm just trying to keep my groups connected. This stone here, I think my main reason for playing it is just, oh, I want to make sure that this group is protected. Because now he can't cut there, because if I hadn't played that stone there, Now, let's say I played here. If he had done something like this, I mean, I could have taken it, but he could have forced my hand there a little. I decided to do the attachment this time, and he jumped there for some reason. I was really expecting him to do this, and then I would play here, and then have something like this to keep him from making a base, but he'd have potential to go out towards the center. This is what I was expecting. Instead, he jumps down there. So I just play a few moves. I start trying to build something in the center. This move right here. So the reason why I played that is because I was looking at this group here, this group here, and this group here. And I was thinking, oh, if I'm lucky, I should be able to attack one of these groups and then pivot to another one and just see if I can't capture some stuff. So when I played there, he played on the first line. I do not agree with this, so I'm looking and I'm thinking, now how can I make this play that I'm thinking of even better? So I played there, and he took the bait. So then I play here, and now he has a choice to make. Does he extend here? Does he play here? Does he play here? Does he capture? He captured. And so I played this move. Now it's the double Atari. He's got to make a choice. Does he want to protect this group of 3 or this group of 2? Obviously, he protects the group of 3, so I just capture. I don't worry about that stone. I just start building my way up into the center. We start fighting over the corner there, a little more on the top. Get a little more in that corner there. Little corner center. Middle right, I guess, is what you would call that area. Anyway, we just get a nice little framework there. And this is where he makes a move that I wasn't expecting. So I play the Hane here, expecting him to connect there, and then I could try something like this, just to get a little bit of territory and eat up some of his potential space. But instead, he Hanes against my Hane, so I'm looking at the board. Oh, there's a perfect cutting point right here. So he blocks, and now I've got those 2 stones in Atari. 3 if he decides to connect them. He doesn't connect them. He does connect there, and I didn't... That was a passive move I did not need to play there. Playing here was a bad idea. I should have used this time to maybe play something like this. Or maybe I should have... maybe did something like this. That would have been a much better play. Instead, I make the passive move and I just connect. He threatens to push through. I block, and at this point I realize something. There is not room for 2 eyes here. This entire chain of white stones, they're dead. And my opponent also noticed that. He's trying to get 2 eyes, and I don't let him. Killing this entire chain of white stones right here is the best thing that could have happened, because look at all those dead stones. I mean, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. And then we also get that territory there. This is the perfect capture. So he's trying to keep me from being able to kill that group. And I just make the solid connection. Again, I could have played maybe something like this first, and then wait for him to play there before finalizing. But I just went ahead and told him, hey, you're not saving that group. So again, kind of a passive move. We can make a few of those per game. We're doing our best to make less passive moves, but I feel like this one just in the long run, it, it wasn't a good move. I will admit it was not a good move, but it was the move that we decided to make. Again, I could have used that to attack any other group. I should have used that for attacking groups. Instead of playing there, maybe I should have pushed up once more. This would not have been a good idea for a push. Well, it's 3 that was the wrong choice. I should doing something like this. I could have done that. That'd be a decent push. I could have, again, played something in this area. Maybe... this wouldn't have been good because these stones would very much be just... Well, if he kept pushing like that, he'd have to eventually block here. But he probably wouldn't have done that. He probably would have done a ladder if I had tried something like that. So maybe pushing there wouldn't be the right idea. Pushing here would be probably worse. Oh, I don't know. Something like this could have worked. Yeah, because we still have 2 liberties, so that would have been nice if things played out like that. But again, I made the passive move. Our opponent played there to keep us from pushing into that corner more, which, yeah, we probably should have played more in the corner, just securing a little more territory there at the bottom. We get into this little fight here where he gets a little bit of territory in the corner, and I get to solidify my half of the top. We solidify the corner. He eats up a little bit of the side, but we still have plenty of the side in our control. He tries to cut us here. We just block. He puts us into Atari. We just capture. There's nothing he can do to capture anything on the side there, so he abandons that endeavor. Good on him. And there's the end of the game. And we had a victory of 74.5 points in this game. Again, probably not the best showing. Definitely a couple slow moves that we could have made other options. But overall, I think this was a pretty good game. And of course, I look forward to hearing your comments on it. And the link to the game will be in the description if you guys want to leave a review.